Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Reality of God. My name is Ron and I am very happy to be here with you tonight. Of course, this is the 1-year anniversary of the Roe versus Wade overturn, and very exciting to think about that today. Even though I live in Minnesota, where Roe versus Wade is very much going strong because this is a very blue state. But it doesn't matter because I know that God is going to do something to this state. I truly believe that with all my heart. But that to the side. Sorry I haven't made a video in a while. I have been traveling. I've been doing some different things, doing some things for work. And so I am back. I'm back home. And so as you can see, I've got a kind of a new, different background behind me. I've got the American flag waving behind me because, of course, I am a patriot. I love this country. And I am, like you, interested in learning a little bit more about truth and things that are going on in the prophetic and so forth. And so that is why we are here tonight to have these discussions. Anywho, tonight I wanted to dive in a little bit more about the rapture. And I know I've had many videos about the rapture, the end times, and so forth. And of course, you know, you are aware of my dream video about my dream of the rapture. And I believe it was truly a dream from God. I truly believe it came from God. And it was prophetic in many, many ways. And that is why I shared it on this channel. And I've shared it with people who are close to me. And so I wanted to keep diving in to the mystery of the rapture. And why is it everyone thinks that this is going to be a rescue mission, that the rapture is meant to be getting us out of here, even though we are meant to be, as Isaiah 60 says, to rise and shine. How are we supposed to rise and shine when we're rising and not shining? You know what I mean? And Johnny Enlow really got into that when of course I made a video of him talking about end times-itis and so forth. So today I wanted to just discuss a little bit more about why the rapture is not a rescue mission. And what I saw in my dream, compared to what people think, compared to what it said. And remember, this is not a by any means a prophetic word from God. I just truly believe this is from the heart. I've looked through scriptures, I've looked through so forth to really dive into this subject because it's a very controversial subject. Now, we all know that the rapture teaching never really came until about maybe 200 years ago. It's been a 200-year-old teaching. It's been a 200-year-old discussion and basically discussing that we are to be rising out of this earth. We are to be taken to heaven from, God. What I believe it is from, from I believe it is going to be more of a glorious, wonderful, fantastic thing from what I saw from my dream, rather than it being everything is pardon my language, but shit on earth. And we're going to get the heck out of here. I truly believe this is not the meaning of what God has intended for the rapture to happen. Yes, there will be a rapture. Yes, there will be a tribulation. Yes, there will be a 1,000-year millennial reign. There will be all these things. There's no question in my mind these things are going to occur. It's in scriptures. It's there. It's written. But there is a mission that we are on currently, as we speak. We're in a timeline right now of the 1 billion soul harvest, the advancement of the kingdom on earth with the 7 mountains. We've talked about that in the past. Johnny Enlow has talked about the 7 mountain mandate. And of course, I like to go back to discussing about the 7 mountain mandate. So I write notes as I do this, and maybe you should write these down too. I'm just saying, but the 7 mountain mandate. So a lot of and I had the same ideal of what the rapture is going to be like. I thought, we're going through hell on earth. Everything is, not good, and God has to destroy the earth for him to reset it. And so in order for, well, not God destroying the earth, but bring the Antichrist in to destroy the earth and so forth. So here we are, we're going to get out of here, and God's going to rescue the righteous and bring them to heaven and leave them there for 7 years so that the, everything could be done on earth, and there could be, a destruction of the current earth in order for God to come in and restore it and do the 1,000-year millennium. I've always believed that. I always believed that. Then I had my dream, and I'm like, and it didn't make sense to me at first. So I'm thinking to myself, all right, well, this is not really how the rapture I thought was going to be like. I thought it was going to be, everything was like dreary, old, gloomy and stuff, because I've always heard doom and gloom my whole life. And then we were going to get out of here. No, it was a glorious atmosphere. It was peace. It was just an incredible feeling of glory in my heart, in my mind. Everything was just at ease. The atmosphere was clear. You could breathe just this wonderful aroma of air. You walk outside and the sky is so blue. That's what it seemed like. And then it happened. And then we were taken away. It wasn't doom and gloom. It wasn't horrible. It was glorious. And I was filled with so much joy and happiness and peace and love. And I felt the glory of God. That's what I felt in that dream. And it was, I don't know if it was a vision or a dream, but it was so real that it just like, it's tattooed in my brain. A lot of dreams that I've had in the past are not like that. I have dreams all the time, but they're not prophetic. I truly believe this one is prophetic, because I thought my whole life, no, the rapture is going to be a time where we're getting out of here, we're escaping, just like the days of Noah. He got into an ark, a flood came, boom, we were out. He was saved. And that's what, I believed Christians were going to be like. And everybody was afraid that, what if I'm not righteous enough to go? I mean, it was just that feeling. But it was, and I got to go, and I got to be lifted off the ground. And then the dream ended, and I told you that. So if you want to go to the full details of the dream, go back to my video and watch that. But anyways, as we go into more of a discussion about how the rapture would even take place, there has to be a time. It's basically saying, as we've been taught in the past, it's basically saying, hey, I give up. This earth is just, it shouldn't exist anymore. I mean, there's too many evil people in this world. And I thought that too. And I'm like, no, there's God is merciful. God cares about people, and he cares about the lost. He cares about the unrighteous, and he wants to make them righteous. That is why we need a 1 billion soul harvest. And then we can talk about rapture, end times, so forth. And so I am just like, overwhelmed with so much, I don't know, there's a lot of confusion. There's a lot of things that people are just like downright wanting answers. And as we get down to the precipice where, where we humble ourselves, where we get on our knees and we say, Lord, we can't take this anymore. And there's people doing that right now. In fact, they're praying for God to send Jesus to come back. This is it. People are like giving up. They're just like saying, no, I can't take it anymore. We're at the precipice. We need to just get out of here and forget about this world. And we need to not the heck with other people. That's what people think. That's a selfish way of thinking. That's the way the enemy wants us to think. He does not want us to think for us to be the light of the world, the salt of the earth. He wants us to think that, heck, we're getting out of here. We're not going to ever have to worry about other people. Screw them. We're out of here. That's the wrong kind of thinking. It is the wrong kind of thinking. We cannot think like that. The Bible clearly says to occupy before we get out of here. All right. So anyways, So how are we supposed to be that light, as we kind of like can't figure things out? Why is the rapture such a confusing thing? And why is it only 200 years old? Explain that one to me. It's so many things. So let's go to the Bible. Let's go to 1 Thessalonians 4, because honestly, if you look at it, and of course we all know the verse, I've read this before, it says, "For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trump of God, and the dead in Christ shall rise first. Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with him in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air, and so shall we ever be with the Lord." That is basic rapture. So let me straighten out my camera here. Sorry about that. Okay, there we go. That's better. All right. Anyways, so I don't have to cut in and do all that, and it's just kind of like lowering down. All right. Anyway. All right. Going back to this. So we read that and we're thinking, yes, that's the rapture teaching, pretty much in a nutshell. And I went back to verse 13, and it says, "But I would not have you to be ignorant, brethren, concerning them which are asleep, that ye sorrow not, even as others which have no hope." So it's basically giving comfort to people like who just given up and just saying, okay, enough's enough. For if we believe that Jesus died and rose again, even so them also which sleep in Jesus with God bring with him. For this we say unto you by the word of the Lord, that we which are alive and remain unto the coming of the Lord shall not prevent them which are asleep. So what does that mean? So to not prevent them which are asleep. Because there are many, and I mean many people who are asleep as we speak. That is why I believe we have an awakening coming. We have a precipice coming. And we talk about, these threats of nuclear war and the crash of the dollar and the whole world losing power and communication and so forth. We're talking about these things. Do I think they're going to happen? Yeah, somewhat. I do believe they are going to happen. I do believe there's going to be a scare event. There'll be a nuclear war scare event. Yes, of course, I do believe that. I've talked about that in my past videos. But is anything going to come out of it? No, because I know God is in control. I have no worries about a nuclear war threat. I will not fear. We are not here to fear. We are here to trust in God and put our faith in him rather than, fear. So, is it time to just wake these people up who are asleep? And that includes the religious people. That includes people who are Christians. There's so much that needs to be done and said. There's like, you remember the movie The Blues Brothers, how he said we're on a mission from God? That's what we need to be on. We need to be on we need to be on a mission from God. We cannot stand and do nothing. We have to do something. So with everything that is like going on, it's just one of those things. So let's go back. I'm going to read Ephesians 5:27 again, and I know I read this in the last 3 or 4 videos ago. And then, of course, this is Paul writing this, that he might present it to himself a glorious, not having spot or wrinkle or any such thing, but that it would be holy and without blemish. So let me read that again, that he might present it to himself a glorious church. Sorry, I forgot to mention church. Let me underline that. Ecclesia. I like to say ecclesia because that is what I've heard Tim Sheets say that. I've heard Dutch Sheets say that too. Not having spot or wrinkle or any such thing, that it should be a holy and without blemish. Is your church holy without blemish? It's a rhetorical question there. I believe that the church was meant to be a supernatural church. The church was meant to be, you walk in, you don't have an arm, you walk in, an arm grows. I know I'm getting a lot of people are like, whoa, you're getting a little crazy there, Ron. Well, I'm talking about I believe in a God that's extreme. I believe in a God that heals. I believe in a God that does supernatural things. Okay? And that's what I truly think we're going into that church. We're going into the supernatural church. We're going into that where it's normal to walk in and just feel the glory. The glory pours out just like crazy. You know, when I went to go see Manuel Johnson and Donna Rigby, that was like probably the best time I ever had, to be honest. It was fun. Church was fun. I enjoyed like doing the march. We did the Jericho March. We did so much praise and worship and just loving God, just loving and celebrating Him. That's what it was about. It's about celebrating and giving all the glory to Him. That's what church was about. And there was healings. I sent a video last week. A woman gets out of a wheelchair, been in a wheelchair for years, walks around. That's normal. I sound like Sid Roth. That's normal. If you ever listen to Sid Roth, that's, he's kind of like, it's normal when Yeshua does that. Okay. It's like, okay. He was the best. Actually, Lance Wall now does a really good Sid Roth. You got to hear him do it. He does a really good one, but not as good. I try, but, but anyways, that's a normal church. We're not even there yet. We're not even close. There are churches out there that are doing that. I mean, that are like, practicing speaking in tongues and so forth. And I'm not talking about just doing a random tongues and interpretation every service. The same person doing it. That's not how it. Growing up in church, that's how it worked for my church. I would see the same guy. He would do the tongues, and then of course you'd have the other same person do the other interpretation. And of course they don't do it. They don't do it with with a warning or anything like that. And I've talked about this before. It's more like it's like out of nowhere. Whoa, we're awake. Hello. And I think God does that because He has a sense of humor. God has a sense of humor because people in church are kind of like, tired. It's early in the morning and they need a wake up call. It's like, so that's why I think when someone does the tongues in the prophetic, that they just wake you up, Anyways, I'm sorry. I'm getting a little crazy here, but it's we have not seen a glorious church yet. What I believe is I'm talking all the churches being glorious. And no matter what denomination will be, I believe, irrelevant at one point. So, and of course, Habakkuk 2:14. There's another verse I like to go to, referring to the glory, and for the earth shall be filled with the knowledge of the glory of the Lord as the waters cover the sea. Of course, we know that verse. Many have heard the Habakkuk 2:14 many times. And then Jesus mentions it in Matthew 24, verse 14, the ever popular, Matthew 24. And I remember growing up as a child how I would hear whenever someone was about to get into Matthew 24, I'm like, oh, great, here we go again. Rapture's going to be next year. I get it. In a couple days. I don't know. I've heard it my whole life. It's coming. Get ready. That sort of thing. Matthew 24:14. And Jesus said it Himself. And the gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations. And then shall the end come. That is Jesus saying that, my friends. That is Jesus saying that, because when Jesus says it, it is truth. He never lied. I'm telling you, this is what I'm talking about. We have a mission. We have a goal. The rapture was never meant to be a rescue mission. The rescue mission is us, the church. We are to rescue the people. We are not to rescue, have God rescue us and we just evaporate, get out of here. It will happen. There will be a rapture. And I saw it. I saw it in my dream, and it wasn't like you think it would be. It wasn't like that. It was glorious around me. It was wonderful. It was like a magnificent feeling. It was just supernatural. It was just so amazing. And when it happened, when I heard the trumpet sound, when I heard all that sound, it was not fear. There was no fear in me. It was like, yes, Jesus is going to be here. It's like, oh, I mean, it's a celebration. It's a celebration because we're going to be with the Lord. Man, I'm feeling like preaching today. Woo, feeling glorious today. So feeling the Spirit of God just coming. I mean, just a wonderful thing. I have no fear because of this dream. It's like my fear just disappeared. And I'm hearing things, even on conservative news about nuclear war. And of course, we heard about the submarine and all. Well, the submarine thing is, that's another video, another time. But folks, I'm telling you, there is much more to this than meets the eye. Okay? We cannot be lazy Christians. We cannot be sitting around on our butts in our pews wearing our perfect clothing and doing all that. We cannot do that. We have to be proactive. We have to preach the gospel to the world. And I'm not talking about like pounding people over the head with the Bible. Yes. Get saved or you're going to hell. No, we got to stop that. That's got to end. We got to just show people love. We got to show people kindness. Today, for example, a woman came up to me and she said, I'm suffering. I'm having, I need to feed my kids and all that. Now, whether it's a scam or not, I gave her $20. I just said, you know what? God bless you. Here's $20 for you. I mean, it's just at the bottom of my heart. Whether she's doing a scam or not, it doesn't matter. And if she feels like, maybe she feels guilty that she took my money, I don't know. I don't care. I just gave it to her. The point is, guys, we have to show that kindness. We have to show that love. We have to show that mercifulness that God gives us. I was not a perfect person by any means. If anything, I was the prodigal son in my family. I grew up in a church. I was the prodigal son. There's no question in my mind. Because it was not that that I guess you could say I feared God my whole life. I feared him. And I think we need to have that healthy fear for God. And I feared him my whole life. And it was that fear of God that got me straightened out, that got me say, hey, I got to stop this stuff. I got to stop what I'm doing and give my life to him. Because, when you're seeing the world as it is, I don't want to end up like that. He does not want us to perish. He wants us to live, and he wants us to live for him. And he wants us to have eternal life through Jesus Christ, who died on the cross. He died on the cross for you. He died on the cross for me. He died on the cross. It suffered, and he had spikes through his hands and his feet, and he was whipped, and he was spit on, and he had his beard pulled, and and when you get your beard pulled, it hurts. Okay, guys, it hurts like crazy. So the bottom line is this: as I close this out, I want you guys to think about what God's intentions are. Okay? Yes, be ready anytime. You never know when your end is going to be. Case in point, the submarine accident, the Titan. They were just, gradually going along. Next thing you know, poof, you're gone. You're dead. It happened instantly, according to what these experts say. So what I'm getting at, guys, is that we need to be proactive. We need to be the light in the darkness. We need to be the salt of the earth, as it said so in the Bible. And guys, I'm just coming from facts. I'm coming from truth. I'm coming from what I have experienced through my life and through many other things that I've gone through, and learning about, and hearing my whole life about the rapture and so forth. So there's just a lot more to it than meets the eye. Yes, there'll be a rapture. Yes, Jesus will return. Yes, there'll be a tribulation, 7 years. Of course. It's in the Bible. It's going to happen. Yes. When? I don't know. Nobody knows the day or the hour. The point is, we need to occupy it. We have a mission. We are to reach out. We are to fight for our freedom. We are to do these things, and God will reward us. He will reward us for reaching out. And just love people, even though it's hard. I get it. A lot of people are jerks. I get it. But we need to reach out to them anyways. We need to love them anyways. So the bottom line is, think about what I'm saying today, and think about what you could do for this mission, and what you could do for not only that, but for your church. Because I believe it is time for the local church to get things right. And Kenneth Copeland even prophesied this, and he said, it's time for the local church to get things right. So anyways, that's what I wanted to get to today. And so, wow, I'm feeling, pretty good, pretty wonderful for what we talked about tonight. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. I know it went long, but I had a lot to say today. Kind of makes up for the lost weeks that I've been, gone. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. God bless all of you. I give all my blessings to you. May God bless you. May He keep you. May He keep you safe during these crazy times. And I said not to fear, because God is in control. God has got this, as Manuel Johnson would say. And we just have to be ready for anything. But be ready with the glory of God, because God is pouring out His glory, and God is going to bring forth the biggest, greatest outpouring of the Holy Spirit than ever before in the history of mankind. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video. God bless all of you. Bye for now.